Well, hello. Hello. It's me, Carty. I help struggling photographers like you that are committed to changing their reality, their 9-to-5 life, to somebody who actually gets paid for their ideas, their creativity, and their photography. You guys know I've been working as a photographer for 33 years, and I gotta say, it's been nice shooting the amount of people and the amount of experiences that I've had. I shoot for magazines, I do ads. Look at stevecarty.com, by the way, if you don't know who I am. I started shooting models, and then it kind of branched into magazine editorial. Then I added shooting portraits, shooting advertising. Been working to help photographers transition. And again, photographers, not other photographers just like you, transition to working pros since 1995. And I've been working on shifting my mindset, which I think everybody has to really work on. Shifting your mindset is something, if you don't shift your mindset, you can't really build your tool set, your skill set, or assets. Like your mindset, we're going to get into that in a bit. And I am going to talk today about how to start your photography business. I mean, you've probably already started your photography business. Maybe you don't have clients. Today, we're going to get deep into how to create your ideal photography life, starting from no clients. Here's a great thing. If I was to start from scratch again with the talent I have, what would I do? Step by step in order to build an audience and then clients, and also a client's an audience at the same time. So hope you guys are with me. I hope you guys are with me. And also, I hope you're wanting to basically build your ideal photography life. So here's a theory. And again, after my last episode, oh my goodness, talk about polarizing. It like to talk about a camera that's not pro when someone thinks that it's pro, or like just having an opinion. And again, I'm an opinion of someone who's been doing it for 3.5 decades. Maybe my opinion is valid. Maybe it's not. Again, to you, doesn't matter. The point is that I continually say, and I'm going to reiterate right now, don't be about your camera, be about what you can make with your camera. Don't be about gear, be about the work. If you don't have work, and most of the people who care so much about camera and camera quality and what lens they're shooting and this, like, they're not making interesting work that anybody wants to look at. So there's one lesson that you can take from any of the stuff that I talked about gear. Don't hold on. Like, what I do is I hold on strongly. No, it's a different way to put it. How should I put it? I have strong opinions. There, that's how I'll put it. I have strong opinions, strong ideas. So let's say it like this. I have strong ideas, but I hold on to them weekly. I don't mean by the week. I mean, I hold on to my strong idea just like this. Because if another strong idea comes along and it's better, I'm going to let go of this strong idea I had on this, and I'm going to pick up the other thing that now I have a strong idea about, and I'm going to hold that weekly. I'm going to hold it just like this, quite lightly. The problem is that photographers that don't have a career, don't have money from their photography, have an opinion, and they hold on to that weak idea. They hold on to it strongly. They death grip on a weak idea. Just because
Yes or yes.
you have the idea, it doesn't mean that it's the right idea. Don't hold on to a weak idea strongly just because you have it. Don't be set in your ways. Like, the smartest ones adapt. Okay? You believe in evolution? Do you believe in evolution? For me, I don't believe in evolution. I'm going to tell you why. Evolution means that I get better without doing anything. That's what evolution means. It means if I sit here, I'm going to get better just by sitting here. That's the concept of evolution. We don't evolve. In fact, if you don't do anything, will you stay clean? Do you stay clean if you actually don't do anything? Wow, what a concept. You actually have to work yourself clean. You have to make effort. If you don't have a shower, you got to make a bath, and you got to heat the water, and you got to scrub yourself, and like find a towel, and like if you don't clean your house for a week, your office, your desk for a month, what does it look like? Does it look better? Did your desk evolve into being clean? Did your house evolve into being clean? Did it become something better after the fact than it was before with no input? Huh. Do you think it's any different with your mindset? How your mind has been set? That you could be holding strong on something weak. Think about it. If nothing changes, nothing changes. What a concept. If you don't do anything different today than you did yesterday, nothing changes. Wow. If you did the same thing today as you did yesterday, and the day before, and the day before, and the day before, and you're complaining about your life not changing, you're waiting for evolution. If you do something different, things change. If you only believe what you know, how can you possibly know anything? It means you have to increase your inputs so you hear things that go beyond what you know, that go beyond what you hold onto so tightly, that you care about so much with no validation, no career, and no money. You have to hear things that go beyond what you know, that transcend what you know. That bridge that we can build between what we know and now what we know because of that person. The smartest one in the room admits that they know nothing. The smartest one in the room knows that they know nothing. Even the smartest one in the room knows but a drop of water in the ocean of available knowledge. You've heard the term know-it-all. You've never heard or seen a bigger group of know-it-alls that are doing nothing with their cameras than photographers. Don't listen to me. If the words that I'm saying hurt your feelings, don't listen to me. There's 63 million creators on YouTube. Find somebody else. But like, if I strike a chord with you, it means because it's true. Everybody knows that. If you're arguing with your girlfriend and you say something that's true, that's the reason that she's going to lose her marbles. Nobody loses their marbles if you say something and it doesn't apply to them. Oh, that's not me. It doesn't apply to me. The people who it applies to, those are the ones who lose their shit. Excuse my language. Thinking just because something worked once does not mean that's how it always works, or that it will always work if you do it that way, the one that worked one time. It's like hitting a hole in one on your first attempt and thinking golf is easy. Today, I'm going to share the steps that I would take if I was going to start getting photography clients again from zero. From zero. And we all can do it. Like, honestly, it's like we can do and build and create. It's what we're here to do. So if I was to start my business today, ooh, am I not plugged in? Sorry, kids. I guess I can't connect the iPad without connecting the iPad. We can't start without starting. I know it seems literal, but you'd be surprised how many think that their career is going to happen without starting. So this is you, and you have a big brain, and you have a camera, and those two things literally could make you $100,000 a year and up. There's no limit to how much money you can make with your brain and your camera, but you have to start. You have to start. So how I would start first is I would make work. But before I would even make work, the question is, what work? Because here's the thing. Imagine this. You go to the doctor and you say, "Doctor, I don't feel well." And the doctor's like this, "Okay, here, take this pill." You're like, you didn't even ask me any questions. You didn't even ask me any questions. What's wrong? Does your head hurt? Does your foot hurt? Does your elbow hurt? Are you emotionally hurt? Like, you didn't even determine what the problem was, but yet you're prescribing a solution. Guess what? That's what every sales guy does at every camera store that sells you a camera body and a kit lens. The camera guy, the guy in the store, just like I have my bias towards the brands that I like, the guy in the camera store has the bias to the brands of the store that he likes, and also the brands that he gets more commission on. So he's going to lean towards talking about the brands that he gets more commission on, that he likes more, and it's going to persuade you. If you're in a place of no knowledge, then you're turning to someone else to tell you how it is. So that's why so many people buy the wrong gear. Someone told them. It's like I'm telling you something. Don't listen to me. I'm telling you, don't listen to me. Experience stuff on your own and then come back to me and be like, "You were right." Like, honestly, it doesn't affect me whether you listen to advice that I give or not on this channel. It doesn't affect me because I'm already doing it. But I want to help you, and I'm so passionate about this, and I take it so seriously that I read every single comment. And one person that I don't get through to, at times I'll let throw off my whole afternoon. So what work is the first question. Before making work, I would say, what work? Because people take pictures. Here's the work, right? You can make pictures that you want, or pictures that an industry wants. That's the line. That's the line. You can make work that you want, or you can make work that the industry wants. Which one do you think makes money? Now, this is called taking, because you're taking. You're not giving. You're not giving anything. You're actually taking. You're shooting with long lenses. You're doing street photography. You're just grabbing. And we're supposed to think that it's interesting. Unless you're Alan Schaller, Jay Maisel, W. Eugene Smith, Vivian Meyer, unless you are profound with how you see. Nobody cares except for you. That's when you're taking pictures. But again, I'm talking about what I would do if I was starting. Take it, okay? Now, there's a problem here, and there's a huge gap, and that is what market? Where's the market when you shoot what you want? Now, the smart people figure out what the industry wants, and then they make or they create, because we're creators. We take something from nothing and we make it. We have an idea. I have an idea for a photo. Sketch it out, blah, blah, blah. What do I need for that? Blah, blah, blah. Okay, who do I need for that? I need a subject, call that girl, blah, blah, blah. Location. What are the locations? Go to my location folder, find some, oh, that's a great spot. Then I go to the location, get the model, time of day, make sure it's the right time of day, and then I execute my idea. It's called making. As every magazine editorial, every cover, every commercial job, every video, every film, everything that you consume in media was an idea that somebody executed. It was not something that somebody made because they wanted to make, and then unless it's a film. And believe me, if you're doing a film on your own like that, you better have a community around you. You better have an audience, and you better have a story that people are interested in hearing. But if you're doing it photography-wise, in an industry, at a time when people look at National Geographic photos like this, like they're not, like drooling, not even paying attention. It's like the craziest moments in the universe. People just look at like, like they're not even paying attention. And you wonder why you're not getting traction with your incredible taking photo ability. It's because nobody asked you for them. So when you make what the industry wants, you're making, you're creating, and it's for a specific niche. So fashion, lifestyle, beauty, product, car, like insert, and this, I'm going to blow your mind. I'm going to blow your mind. This is where you establish what you want. As we all like to feed our egos. This is where you get to establish what you want. Is that you get to choose your specific niche. You get to choose it. There's so many. And guess what? There will be a niche that you like. But when we look through our camera, before we touch the button, what is it? It is out of focus. Yes or yes? And then what do? We frame it. We press the shutter halfway, not all the way, so we can do what? So we can focus. Because that's how we take a photo. It's also how we make a photo, by the way. Silly, obviously. So without direction, you are out of focus. And although you might have the ability to operate your camera, that is a skill that I taught my children to do when they were 4 and 5 years old. My kids have been shooting with the 6D since they were 5 years old. So my kids, because they have access to me. I have gear, put it in a kid's hand, and see what they make. But now my son at 15, he stayed with it. He shoots my R5 like it's his. Do I push photography on him? Nope. If he wants to do it, I'll give him all the resources that he needs. But I'm not pushing anything on him. He's his own person. So when you lack direction, when you don't have a niche, when you're not specialized, you're out of focus. So although you're framing things and pressing the shutter, you lack focus because you're pointing your camera at the wrong thing. Oops. You're pointing your camera at the wrong thing. And once you focus on a specific niche, it becomes almost impossible for you to fail. And the funny thing is, you're not going to focus on a niche that you don't love. And again, I'm not talking about just focusing on, I'll say it better. I'll say obsess over a specific niche. And I'll say it even further. Obsess over solving problems for a specific niche. In fact, I would fully immerse myself in a specific niche. And in fact, I would work towards achieving mastery in a specific niche. Because then you, after mastery, you start seeing problems before the client knows they're going to happen. That's what happens when you focus, obsess over a specific niche. When you obsess over solving a problem for a specific niche, when you immerse yourself fully in a specific niche. And when you do, like, it takes 10 years to achieve mastery at anything. I've been doing this for 33. So I'm a people photographer, by the way. That's my mastery. So once you achieve mastery, now you can foresee problems before the client sees them. And then you can tailor solutions before the client even knows that they need them. Do you understand the level of service that I can provide because I can do all of the things that I'm telling you right now? And when I tell people that I bill out for advertising at about $5,000 a day, plus usage, plus expenses, assistant, gear, all that stuff, and it ends up working out to be about $10,000 a day. And I say that with a straight face because this is what I bill out when I take jobs. So, and that's not every job, it's advertising. Magazine jobs, maybe it's a couple of $1,000 for 10 minutes with somebody, but it's because I've done all this. I'm completely focused on my niche. I know exactly who it is that I shoot, and I know exactly who it is that I need to market to in order to be able to do more of that. So that's the first thing I would do, is I would stop taking pictures and start making pictures, which is executing ideas. And you practice executing ideas for yourself first, for a specific niche. And then you learn through experience of putting your work into the marketplace, doing it for other people for a specific niche. The same niche, by the way. If you're trying to jump niches and think that you're going to be as good a product photographer as you are a portrait photographer, you're delusional. In your same first year, if you're new, if you're trying to do two things at the same time, here's another thing. This is you. Oops, I'll draw a better you. I appreciate you, thank you. This is you. I'll draw a better you. This is your cup. You've heard the term that your cup is half full. I'm going to give you a full cup. So your cup is full. Okay? This is you. Now, in this cup is all of your time, because this is all you have. All of your time. This is you. It's you, your talent, and your time. So with this, you have to, first of all, discover your niche. You have to develop yourself in that niche. And then you have to deploy your work into the market. Woo-wee. Look at the writing today. So imagine you, and you only have 24 hours in the day. Okay. Now I'll draw this better. So you have to discover your niche, develop yourself in that niche, and you have to deploy your work into the marketplace. Okay. You get 24 hours in the day. If you're like me, I sleep about 4, but if you're like average people, they sleep about 7. So 7 hours sleep. So that leaves 15, is it? 15 hours left. Now, if you have a full-time job, that's 8 hours. That's a big 8 hours. That's gone. If you commute back and forth to that job, call that another hour. So basically, that's basically now you have 16 hours used and you have 8 hours left for your photography business. Out of every day, 8 hours. Like meaning, and that's not like giving you a lot, if I did the math right. It's not giving you a lot. So imagine now with that 8 hours, you have to work around relationships with your family, your friends, your social life, and all this. This is why I'm saying, like, if you're not obsessed, I can't understand how this will work for you. If you're not obsessed about making this work, I do not understand how this is going to work for you. So, with your remaining 8 hours, okay, this is what you have to do. You have to do input. So you got to be reading. You need to be watching videos. And you need to be practicing. Okay? All of these things are all part of your input to try to be the best that you can be. Also, you have to be marketing and putting yourself out there. So this is all about creation. The reason that people who take pictures of what they see, they're just capturing, it's like Pinterest. You're just doing it with a camera. I saw that. I saw that. I saw that. I saw that. It's like, are you adding to the noise? Ask yourself, are you adding to the noise? Are you literally innovating and changing lives? When you make pictures, you work with businesses, you work with other people, and you actually have the possibility of changing someone's life with your talent. Do you understand the satisfaction that you get from somebody having an idea? They tell you the idea, you have the skills to execute that idea with a photograph, and it changes their life. But people are afraid. They're afraid. They're afraid. What if it doesn't work out? That's life every day, people. Every day, life might not work out. You might get smacked by a car. This is about creation. And anytime that you think negative will come. You attract what you put your energy into. So if you are stressed, then you are putting your energy into stress. How many times do you hear people, I'm stressed, I'm so stressed. It's like, wow, you're like, you said it twice. You're like, literally, not only are you stressed, you said it twice, and you're trying to make me stressed just by saying that word around me. Why are you saying that word in my presence? Don't hit me with that. In fact, you see my energy? Your energy doesn't match my energy right now. So you need to match my energy, or you need to remove yourself from me. Like, negative. For me, negative is, and doubt. You understand these things are evil forces. If you don't think of it like this, distraction, that 43-inch idiot box that you have like up on the wall, distraction. Netflix, all your services, like Prime, like all of that stuff. That's just shows, watching shows, having TV, following the fake lives of actors, reading a script, telling pretend stories is more important than you, your life, and your photography career. Ask me what's happening in any show. I have no idea. I don't even have a TV in this space anymore. There is a TV in the front, but I don't spend any time there. I spend all my time here. I do not sit with my girl and watch shows. If it's my time with my partner, we go out. We have a cocktail. We have a dinner together. We look at each other and we talk. I don't spend any time on my couch making my ass bigger watching shows. I don't have time. It's all distraction. And distraction is an evil force. And it's an evil force because it is stopping you from action. And you want your photography career to happen. But yet you fall victim to the evil forces of distraction, stress, and doubt. I only mess with positivity. I only mess with positivity on such a level like you don't even understand. In fact, like, you can't raise your voice to me. I just leave. Literally. You can't come at me in a certain way. Anybody who's ever come at me in a certain way, even via comments on YouTube after these podcasts, you see, you can't come at me, bro. You don't know me. You know what I mean? I'm too big a spirit. Literally, I'm too big a spirit. So I move with positivity. And because I know negativity is an evil force, comment trolls are an evil force. They move with nothing but like, they see someone else that is creating something that is helping people, and they have to do something to try to poke a hole in it, to try to tear it down because they feel bad about themselves because they're not creating anything. Do you understand how hard it is to be a content creator? To put yourself out there the way that I do for you? Like, I try to have blinders, but I'm a human. I'm a sensitive dude. But I move with God and I move with positivity. And I know that any negativity is just a reflection of how great my light is. Anytime I'm shining brightly, darkness just has to be like, remember me? What about me? People who are doing things have no time to be sitting in YouTube comments, commenting on what someone else is doing or saying. Especially a place like this, where I try so hard to keep a positive, uplifting place. A place of learning and growth and mindset shifts. And you know, the funny thing is, you can boil a frog. This is what you do. You put a frog in lukewarm water, comfortable. Every day, just inch that temperature a little bit higher until, in fact, you can do it by the hour. You don't even need to wait a whole day. Just inch that temperature from, we'll do Celsius, 20 to 30 to 40 to 50. Like 50 is like warm, to 60 to 70, 80, 90 to now full on boiling, bubbling water. And because the frog got in there when it was comfortable, it stayed and didn't notice the water was boiling all around it because it was comfortable. Literally, your comfort zone is where your dreams go to die. I move with positivity. And because I do, I can reflect on all sides. Anybody who has any negativity that they want to bring my way doesn't affect me, you know? But at the same point, like, what I get frustrated with is, I'm just one creator, by the way. I'm one. Out of 63 million people who are on YouTube, I'm just one person. But I'm saying something that's helping some people. And it's actually resonating with some people. And I'm growing an audience of some people. Not all people, but the right people. My people. Because those are the only people that I want. The people who I can help and the people who believe I'm the one to help them. Based on my experience, my portfolio, and my attitude. I move with positivity. And if you do not move with positive, because like attracts like, you've heard that before. You've heard opposites attract, but not when it comes to frequency. Like, opposites attract maybe in relationships, but hey, why did 2 out of 3 marriages end in divorce then? Because opposites attract, but they also repel. You know? Like, the person who you love might not be the right person you should be in love with, because maybe they're not supportive or whatever the reason is that whatever. It's none of my business. What I'm saying is, like attracts like. You hang out with people who resonate with you, that you like their energy. They inspire you. Like, or you hang out with people who you inspire, because that fills you up in some way. But if you're only doing that and not also hanging out with people who inspire you, you're just doing part of the equation. So if you don't move with positivity, you're going to attract negativity. Because I move with positivity and I attract positive people here on this channel. So you're watching me because you're a positive person and you believe in yourself and you believe that you're going to do this without question, right? So what would I do next? After making work, and this is your gold, and imagine this work It's qualified by it's specific and there's a market for it. So that's what I'd start with. And now it's me. And I have this. I have work for a specific market. Now, the next thing I have to do is package it. So the packaging is you package your work, meaning people go and they see you on your website. Oops, I don't know my name. And I type fast. It's hard to type when you're speaking and blah, blah, blah. So I go to my website, or you go to my website, and this is my packaging. This is how people are able to see what it is that I do and what I can do. Colin Firth, Yasmin, I don't want to brag about who these names are. It doesn't matter. And the thing that's more important is that whether this is a supermodel or not, and she is, this is Yasmin Warsami, the first Somalian woman to be on the cover of Vogue. The work holds up irregardless as to who the people are. And that's always necessary. And if you look at my classics and you see Pharrell and Daft Punk and Ciara and like the people who I've had in front of my camera, at no point here when you're looking at any of these photos are you thinking, what camera does he shoot with? Because it's not about the gear. It's about the work. It's not about the gear. It's about the work. What work are you making with the gear that you have? Because I make work of people for a very specific niche. You've heard me say, I photograph the faces of today's generation. And when you look at my portfolio, do I not photograph the faces of today's generation? And not all of these faces are famous people. I shoot everybody, but I shoot people who have something that they're trying to do or say. So there's always going to be work because I make people look amazing. I shoot hero photos of people. So because I'm able to shoot hero photos, I'm able to make everybody feel comfortable on set. Like I've established myself in what it is that I do. And I have a portfolio of work to back it up. So if you're not making work for a specific marketplace, it is very confusing for the marketplace. Like I can shoot so many different styles of things. Like here's me taking pictures, but at the same point, there's a lifestyle angle to it. It was shot for a magazine. So it's like we all have the ability to make photos when we're taking photos. We all have the ability to shoot something special every time we're outside with our camera and do it in an editorial fashion. We all have that ability. So it's like, if you look through my categories, it's only people photography in the way that only I can do it. So this is the whole point. Like, you don't see me jumping around from category to category. Like, my style doesn't change irregardless as to what you're looking at. I shoot different categories, and I mean, my street style is a little swaggy, but it's like, I just get to be me, and I'm not trying to be anything else. Whenever you're trying to be something that you're not, all you can ever be is a weak imitation of that thing that you're imitating. Oh, look at this. Tell me this isn't the coolest, cutest ever. It says rap, not gap. Little hooligan. Like, this is the kind of commercial work that I do for brands. Like, this is the commercial work that I do for brands. I shoot kids like I'm shooting an editorial, and I pose them literally. Look at the swag on this kid. Like, if I'm going to shoot kids, I shoot them like this, in my exact style, in streetwear. So, you're allowed to be exactly who you are. But the hard thing is that we just imitate. So, and because we're so afraid to put ourselves out there, we're so afraid to establish ourselves in the world, we just look at other people who are established and we just hate on them, you know? So the next thing is your packaging. And your packaging is your website, your portfolio. I've shown you both, except for like my physical books, which are in the front room. I have to make a space here for my physical books to be. And the last part of your packaging is you. You're the last part of the package. And how you present yourself into the universe. Not what you look like, but how you see yourself in the world. If you have a low regard for yourself, then you haven't had a haircut in like 4 months, and like you haven't shaved if you're a dude, and like you haven't bought new clothes since like your wife got you stuff 5 years ago, and your pants, your clothing style is totally not like 2 years ago. It's like 10 years ago or 20 years ago. If you haven't done any repackaging of yourself. Photographers spend so much time. They spend so much time it's about, number one, those who don't know care about cameras. Those who know a bit more care about the work. People who know even more care about the packaging. Some people care more about the packaging than care about the work. Tell me if that one rang a bell. Some people care more about the packaging than the quality of the work, even their own personal packaging. So they care so much about fashion, so much about wearing the latest trends, the latest styles, that but they're shallow, empty people that you don't want to spend 35 seconds with them. But seeing them at a distance, you're like, look at that style. Or how expensive, because they're all brand heavy. They want to say like Stussy, and like they want to just push brands, because that's like they don't have their own brand. So they spend all of their time putting other established brands on themselves. Packaging. That's the next thing. That is, by the way, this commercial-free stream, I haven't even talked about it. Geez, this commercial-free stream is happening right now because of the members of this channel. And I gotta shout out my members, man. Like, if it wasn't for my members, like, I wouldn't do this with the same vigor. So if you're considering becoming a member of this channel, or if you have a crown next to your name, that is the Carty crew or the Carty cartel, because we go beyond a crew. I'm building a network of global creatives that are at the top of the game. And I'm not going to reveal all my dreams, but I'm telling you, when these photographers release onto the marketplace, there's going to be, you're going to hear my name, because they're going to be saying, that's the guy who taught me the way. So We're going to talk about packaging. Yeah. The business side, though, because that's where people fail. And funny, people get this far. They get this far. They get to the packaging. And then they don't know what to do or who, because they haven't figured out this part. They skipped this part. They made work. They did that. They made work. But they didn't make work for a specific market. They made work and then they went straight to packaging. And now they're in the wind. And then they're watching me now trying to figure out how to market work that has no market, no specialty, to a marketplace. How? Help me do that. So this is street photography, by the way. Unless you're sponsored by Leica, like Alan Schaller is, unless you're independently wealthy, unless you are an amazing salesperson, and unless you're making pictures that are so undeniable that people want to put them on walls, so much so that you have a waiting list of 100 people who've already prepaid you to buy your photography as soon as you put it in a frame. Because people will tell you, oh my God, I'll buy your prints. I'll buy your prints. And guess what? Then they won't. And then you're going to do all this work based on someone saying, oh, I like your stuff. Oh, maybe they'll buy my stuff. I'm going to print all these books and blah, blah, blah. And guess what? They don't. Because you're making photos that you want. And then you're trying to peddle them instead of making photos that the industry wants. And then all you need to do, and you're making pictures that aren't what you're selling. You're selling, look, I can do this. This is the kind of pictures that I can make like this. And then you get hired by them to make pictures for them like this. Like they're not using the photos that you did for someone else. Those are just examples. So part of your packaging is your social media presence. And that's where so many people, that's where their first journey starts, is with social. And photographers, I hear both things. Social. And again, you'll hear, I hate social media. If that's you, by the way, just what I want you to do is just say this to yourself. Just say that. Just say that. I hate. Because that's what you started with I hate, and then you put whatever you said afterwards. I'm not even listening to you because you're a hater. You know what I mean? I'm not even listening to you anymore because you're a hater. Social media is the best thing and the worst thing that has ever happened to the world. Okay? How can something be both the best thing and the worst thing at the same time? How come? I can answer. It's the worst because it's rotting attention span. It's killing attention. It's the worst. Vertical video is the worst. It's killing your attention span. And it's a time suck. I'm just joking. Well, I'm not really joking about vertical video. But the worst part about social media is it's killing your attention span and it's a time suck. Everyone on earth has it. So everybody on earth has it, which means access. You remember back here, the person who said, I hate? That's because that's you, bro or girl. It's usually bros. I hate to say it, but it's usually bros. It has to do with you and the fact that you hate. So don't hate. Like, I would say appreciate because it rhymes and that would be the thing that you want me to say. But this is a you thing. It's nothing is going to work for you because you just see the negative in everything. And that goes back up to negativity being an evil force that you've allowed to penetrate you. So again, I don't mess with those people. I only believe in positive outcomes. That's all I believe in. Like, someone says the earth is flat. It's like, no, I don't believe that. I believe the earth is round. Cool. We're all allowed to have our own little believies. You can have your own little believies. You can believey, whatever you want. We all get our own little believies. Belief comes from input or faith. One or the other. Belief comes from input or faith. I do both. I do input and faith. And because I do input and faith, I only believe in positive outcomes. Do you understand positive outcomes happens every time? You can ask my girl. She's not here right now, but she's going to be here in a second. I just moved pretty much my whole flat from one location to the other. And like, I said to myself, every time I would drive from here to there, that I would like a parking space directly in the front, please. I can't be walking up and down the street and I live on Queen Street West, one of the busiest streets in North America, okay? And I just state, there's parking on both sides. There's never a space, ever. So I said this, I'd like there to be a space while I'm doing this move, please, in order for me to not have to be walking around the neighborhood carrying my stuff. Thank you very much. I can't block the street. That would help me. Like, I just started talking to the universe as I was driving there. I would get there and I would park. Someone would pull out and I would pull in. I did that consistently for 5 weeks. And believe me, I did a lot of trips. So I would do it twice a night at times, and I would get a parking space, and someone would pull in as soon as I would pull out. And I would come back, and they would pull out as I would pull in. Like, I only believe in positive outcomes. It's just, you can do it too. It's a superpower. But if you only believe that things are going to go wrong, they're only going to go wrong. Honestly. And that's why they're only going wrong, because that's all that you believe. That's what you put your energy into, and that's what's happening. Literally. So, I only believe in positive outcomes. It's a superpower. So, what is the best part of social media? Everyone has it, which means access. So, if you can control your attention, again, you're an adult. It's just like we can't resist anything. Oh, I want to have dessert for breakfast. I want to have 2 desserts. I want to eat as much as I want. I want to do whatever I want. Like, no one is stopping you from doing anything. And how's your life going? You see what happens when you do what you want? When you do what you want, You rarely do the right thing or choose the hard thing. What I'm teaching you is how to be a professional photographer. And I'm teaching it to you in a very, very non-linear way. But I'm also trying to attract a certain mind. You understand? I speak this way and I deliver my information this way because I'm trying to attract a certain type of person. And I'm trying to repel other people. I'm trying to repel people. Like, not intentionally. I want everybody to be here who wants to learn. But anytime truth raises its beautiful face, it will face opposition. Every single time. Every time righteousness, kindness stands up, it will face opposition. Someone will throw a rock. So, it's all right. I'm used to it. So, if you can curb your attention and the time suck factor and use it for access to everybody who in your niche could use your services, social media is the best thing in the world. The reason that social media is bad is because of young people. And young people don't have the developed mind to be able to control their attention span or the time suck. And it's killing young brains. And I have two of them, 15 and 16. And I deal with it every single day. I have a daughter who's addicted to her phone. Addicted, literally. So, and I have a son, not addicted to his phone at all. Eli, I text you. Where's your phone? He's like, oh, Dad, it was in my room, man. Sorry, I was outside doing. It's like he's like, it's just they're completely different humans from the same source. We're all individuals. So that's the biggest problem. The worst is young brains have access to it. So you have this work. It is specific for a specific market. Now you've done the packaging. You've gotten a haircut. You went to H&M. You spent $40. You got a cool, oversized crew. In the discount bin for $10. You threw on a bucket. You bought some cool pants for $19.99 from Uniqlo on sale. I match. I'm wearing purple and maroon. Or pink, you might call it. So, you figured out the packaging. You've packaged yourself now finally. You got a haircut. You got a little bit of style. You went out and you copped yourself a cool pair of sunglasses. But you have no idea about the business. And this next part is where so many people have no idea. No idea about price. No idea about project fees versus hourly. We're not plumbers. Jesus. Like, we're not plumbers. We're creative people. I can do something in 5 minutes that would take you 5 hours to figure out. Who's more valuable? Who's more valuable? Me, the guy who can have it done and off to the editor in 10 minutes, or you who takes all day to figure out how to like, who's more valuable? And even if you're cheaper, who's more valuable to the client or the end result? I get paid $1,600 for 15 minutes or 8 minutes or 3 minutes or 20 minutes or an hour. Like however long it takes for me to get that cover, double page spread, like whatever it is, if I'm shooting magazine editorial. And magazine editorial is like as far as client work, it's not big money. It's just money, just average money. But like, if you don't understand rates and shooting editorially versus shooting commercially and all this stuff, like, this is the business side of it. Do you have an LLC or an incorporation? Like, insurance, like, there's so much stuff about the business. Like, what ends up happening? People charge bottom dollar, not top dollar, bottom dollar. And imagine they've invested. I have $100 and so thousand for the gear. So we'll say that you've invested 10. Okay. You've invested 10K in gear and you're making $0 because you're not doing all the stuff that I'm talking up there. But because something's better than nothing, you're doing shoots for $100. $100. I do shoots for $10,000 and up. So you're doing shoots for $100. Do you understand? You have to do 100 shoots at $100 to make the amount of money that I make in one shoot. Like, this is called racing to the bottom. And also, there's no value. If a Rolls Royce, first of all, there's no possible way a Rolls Royce would cost $100 because it is one of the five. It's like a Mercedes-Benz or a Maybach or a Ferrari or whatever, insert desirable, expensive thing here. The reason that it costs so much money is the Palmares and also the quality and the agreed value. There is an agreed value on all of the things that I've just said. An Apple product, there's an agreed value on it. An iPhone 15. If you don't create value for the industry, there is no room for you. There's no room for you. So once you prove your value to the industry, then you have agreed value, because then you can create proof. And the proof is in client work. I have client work. I've shot for Nike, Apple, like so many different massive clients where when I actually say it back, I'm like, oh, I have shot for Apple. That's so crazy. I shot for Nike in 2007 in my like 17th year or so. So like half a career ago, basically. That's the proof. It's the proof work. And then you have agreed value. And then you can charge whatever you want. But if you're racing to the bottom with your rates, you see no value in what you do. You'll take anything. You'll take anything. Just give me $100. Just buy me a beer. Just give me anything. You'll take anything. So you see no value in what you do. So why would anyone else see any value in that if you race to the bottom? Someone asks me to shoot for less than $350, I literally will fall off my chair laughing. And also for $350, this is just friend to me, like headshot. Perfect example. Headshot. $350, 15 minutes. One look, one picture. I'm going to knock your socks off. It'll be the funniest, best experience that you've ever had, and you'll remember it forever, and it'll take 15 minutes, and you'll have photos that you can put on the cover of a magazine. It costs $350 though. It includes 2 finals. $500 or $350 or what? It's like, yes, for 15 minutes, yes. No way. It's like, okay. Like, I don't need it. Like, and I know my value. So I will not lower, I will go literally broke rather than lower my standard or my perceived value. My own perceived value, no. And again, you can't value yourself without establishing yourself. But if you don't value and believe that you will get to that place where the industry value, like, you have to value yourself. Of course, we all have to value ourselves. But I mean, valuing yourself means that you care enough to create valuable work. How about that? You have to value yourself enough to care enough to make valuable work. If you do that, people will see the value in you because you make valuable work. So, the business. That's where it all goes to hell. It all goes to heck in the business side of it. After the business, there are systems. There's efficiencies that you either know or you don't. Let me see who has a question for me. Thank you so much, June. So who's got a question? Paul C. Hit me up, my guy. My brother Les. My actual brother Les's Opal Customs. No one's asking you to cut your hair, my guy. You're an artist. You can do whatever you like. What's your question, Paul? Holding up the stream here for you. You got to now hit your question. Paul C. In terms of value, would pricing reflect experience? Pricing reflects the ask. Pricing reflect, like, this is it's a great question. And I'm sorry, I don't have my thing open so I can pop your question up on the screen. Paul asks, in terms of value, would pricing reflect experience? Pricing. It's about the ask, not your experience. Like, and I'll tell you, I've done a $1,500 job that should have been $15,000. But because of my lack of experience and not asking the right questions and shady advertising people, I did a job for $1,500 that if I had experience, it would have been $15,000. So, pricing is based on ask. And I am going to do an exercise with you at the end of this episode if we have time. It's already 7:15. Need to make sure that my dog is still here. Hang on. He's gone, which means my girl has arrived and has taken him for a walk. Okay, so pricing is based on the ask, and there's two levels. There's personal work, meaning a person just wants for themselves, or there's a person that wants for their business, or there's a person that is representing a business that needs a service. Okay, so it's all the ask. So who is doing the ask? Is it a person doing it for themselves, shooting someone's for their wedding or someone for their family portraits or whatever, like that kind of thing? That's a person who just wants stuff for themselves. So you can imagine the amount of money that you can charge here goes from here all the way to, depending on the type of person that you're attracting. If you're attracting a higher frequency person with higher frequency work, when you're doing stuff for people, for themselves, you can attract high value money. I get high value money just doing this. But if you're creating a body of work that creates an attention from a low frequency people, then they don't have any money and they want shit for free. And then they're going to come at you with like, and again, it all has to do with your frequency. People don't look at my Instagram and message me for free photo shoots. They don't. They look and they're like, whoa, okay. But clients message me because they're like, this is the kind of photographer that we're looking for. You see? So in just quality, you just remove yourself from low frequency. Easy. So that's one. Then there's also a person, and it's their business. And it's their business. So a person is calling you to help them with their business. And their business is 1, 2, 3 people. And how you would serve them. It's all depending on the ask. And then there's a person representing a business and they're needing a service. Or it's a person, this is the fourth one, that is representing an agency. And that agency is representing the business. And that business is doing marketing, which is what they're hiring the advertising for, and they need you for execution. So this is 4 different frequencies of work, 4 different frequencies of ask, Paul C. So Paul's question was, in terms of value, would pricing reflect experience? The ask reflects the price, not experience. Experience is how you know this already. That's experience. Experience is being able to execute at the highest level in any one of these realms. And the higher frequency that you make, and you're going to get a high frequency ask, which is going to be a high frequency price, which is going to require a high frequency photographer, even without experience. I was doing work with no experience at 21 years old in a studio, shooting magazines, 21. So the smart one dances in all of these realms. The smart photographer plays in all of these realms. A person, small business. This is small business, SB. Small business is one of the most fun places to mess around with, man. I love creating stuff for small business because it literally changes lives. It's like, when you're dealing with individuals, the life-changing, it depends on the person. Some people will think it's a complete transformation. Other people, it's just another day for them. They do them all the time. So, it depends on the person. But if you're doing small business of 1 to 3 people, and then a person representing a business for a service, this is when it starts to get like more than 3 people. 3 to 25 to 50. This could get really crazy, where they don't have an advertising agency yet. They can't afford an advertising agency. So it's a person from the business that's calling you directly for a service. And this is another thing that we do. And again, it all depends on the ask. And what do they need? Where is it going? For how long? And blah, blah, blah. And we're going to go through that at the end. Stay to the end of this episode because I'm going to tell you how to determine how much a job is worth. If you're with me still, stay with me. Because by the way, the new meta on YouTube, I don't know if you've heard it, and whether you agree with it or not, I'm going to tell you the new meta on YouTube is 3-hour podcasts. 3 hours. Joe Rogan dominating. That Suleman dude with like the muscle dude, the bodybuilder guy who does 3-hour unedited broadcast. Like The new meta on YouTube is 3 hours because people who want to know come early and they stay late because it's just information. That's why Joe Rogan it's like his own media source, because he does long form. 3 hours where afterwards, not only did you really learn something, but you feel like you know the person. And you must feel like you know me by how candid and no BS I am. Okay, so person, business, service. A person hits you up from a business and they need one of your services. And again, this only works if you have something of value that they need. None of this works if you're taking pictures for yourself. None of this works. Okay, so here's the next model. There's a person who represents an ad agency. They're usually called AD, art director, SD, senior art director, CD, creative director, CP, copywriter, or AE, account executive. They're usually called one of these names. They call you from an agency about an idea that they have for a business that is not them, that they need marketing for, and they're trying to hire you for execution. This is my $10,000 a day. This is how I make $10,000 a day, is because this is what I do. So this, and again, there's just tiers. Like you can get $1,000 from a person, you can get $2,000 from a person, but $2,000 becomes the high end for a person to pay. Low end, I would not ever shoot or pick up my camera for less than $350. For you, we'll call it $200. So that's a person. Now, person for their business, now you're going from 1,000, oops, extra zero, 1,000 to call this 5K. It's small business. This one here can end up being 3 to, this you can do a 10K job here. This can be 10K for sure. 3 to 10K. Oops, wrong side. And then these jobs go up to $1 million for one advertising campaign that they're paying to creatives. This is $500,000. This is $250,000. Like, and again, when I'm trying to tell people that you can make $100,000 and $1,000 a year with your camera, easy. I make 50. I've made 50 in 4 days. But if you're not at the level where you understand this, if you're not at the level where you're understanding this model, if you're not like, so Paul, it's not experience, it's the ask and knowing how to price. I want to make sure that I hit all my notes because I know this stuff like inside and out, and I want to make sure that I'm not repeating myself on my channel. Like I do have to repeat myself because there's certain things that like, it's like people who are looking to get 1,000 followers on Instagram, or people who are looking to get 1,000 followers on YouTube or subscribers, right? If that's what you're focused on, that's all you'll see is like you're trying to find how to do this one thing, and this is all the content that you're absorbing. So people find me because they want to know how to become a pro photographer. So I don't want to like clickbait or anything like that. And everything that I'm talking about is all related. So much content on my channel about just that. But I also have to be wary of time and know that your time is valuable. And we've been going for almost 90 minutes. So I'm going to create a mock quote, and I'm going to determine, and I'm going to show you how easy it is if you ask the right questions. Who wants to participate with this mock quote? What I need in chat is for you to create a fake job. Create a fake ask for me, okay? Do that. Start giving me fake asks, and I'm going to pick a ask give me the ask and I'm going to work out the price for that ask. Depending on how long this takes, it shouldn't take that long. I might be able to do more than one. So give me a fake ask. And by the way, I am starting a pro group. If you want to be considered for my pro group, I'm taking 50. This is a photography accelerator. I'm trying to take 50 photographers to $100,000 in 12 months. 50. And I have an application. This is an application and an interview process. I am very specific, as you can tell, the kind of person that I'm looking for. If you're still watching, by the way, go to thecartymethod.com, book a 15-minute Zoom chat with me, say in the subject that you're interested in my pro group. I will send you the application also. And also, yeah, you guys, you're resourceful. Figure out a way to email me. Figure out a way to email me and say, I want to be a part of this pro group. Go to the Carty method. Figure out a way to email me and say, I want to be a part of this group. Like, if people aren't like hitting me in 20 different places saying I need to be a part of this, like, you're going to lose your spot. There's 18,000 people who subscribe to this channel. I'm taking 50 people. 50. This is not a joke. As you can see, like, just by the way that I deliver my content here for free, I don't care if you like me. It doesn't matter. I'm not here for friends. I'm here to deliver real information, like actually how you do this. And it's not easy. It's not a joke. And I want to help some people with a roadmap. And the roadmap, you get me with the roadmap. I'm the coach. I come with the roadmap. Like, I'm with you every step of the way for a year until you make $100,000. Or I kick you out is one of the other. That's the other vibe, is I kick you out because you piss me off, because you don't do the work, because of all the possible reasons that I could kick you out. And then that'll make room for more people. So, yeah, fail. Please make some room for more. Like, I'm looking for committed people. So, figure out a way to message me and we'll talk about that then. So I am asking for a quote. Stephen S.T., he says he wants a billboard ad for the World Cup in Atlanta. That is almost beyond possibility, Stephen. Like, are you asking that because you're being hired for a billboard ad for the World Cup in Atlanta, Georgia? Is that what's happening right now? I'm not an advertising agency. I'm talking about real life things, and please don't waste my time. I'm talking about real life things that you would actually get a quote for. Like, you would actually get asked so I can help you price properly. When you give me stuff like this in my chat, it just irritates me, and it affects the rest of the stream for other people. Give me a realistic ask of something, unless you're up for that ask, Stephen ST3. Christ. Monica says, 1 hour photo. Okay, Calligraphy says 1 hour photo shoot for 3 image return. Number one, problem. You said 1 hour photo shoot. Problem number one. Right there. And this is a man who is my mod, a man who is in my masterclass. This is your problem right now, is this. Who said it was 1 hour? Who said it was 1 hour? Who said it was 1 hour? What you're asking, I do in 15 minutes. So then I could do way more shoots for the same amount of money that you do. But you're saying 1 hour, which is locking your creativity to time. You're not a plumber. You're not, oh, you need a lawyer. How much for 1 hour of lawyering? They just say, I'll take 10% of the settlement. That's it. I take 10% of what I make you. That's it. If I make you $20 million, I get 10% of it. How much is your hour? I'm not charging you for the hour, and I'm only taking this case because I'm going to win, and I'm going to take 20% now of your final settlement. And the number is going to keep going up until you agree. Stop locking your photo shoots to a time. Your question was 3 images. So you need 3 images. That's 3 looks. 3 looks. So how long is it going to take you to shoot 3 looks? It's not up to you. You do not know how long it's going to take this girl to get into it, how long she's going to take to change, how long she's going to take to get there, if she's going to be late. You don't know all of these variables. What you do know is the ask, and the ask is 3 images, 3 final images. I'm going to translate that because you don't do a photo shoot for 3 photos. You do a photo shoot for 3 ideas, of which they could get hundreds of photos from that you could sell them or you sell them 3 photos. And if you're taking an hour to shoot 3 photos, I'm worried about your skill level, because you should be able to get 3 photos in about 8 minutes, literally. So what you mean is 3 ideas or 3 outfit changes or 3 looks, which is what they're called, 3 ideas or looks. So 3 looks. In each look, you shoot headshots, you shoot half body, and you shoot full length. So now headshot, half body, full length. That's 3 shots in the first look. Then you do the second look. Headshots, half body, full length. That's 3 more shots. Then you change and you do look 3. By the way, this is from my systems, This is my part of my systems thing, which is the next thing that we're going to talk about, which is the systems, then outward reach, and then putting it all together. But we went off on a tangent, and it's important that you understand this. So look 3, you do headshots, half body, full length. Now they have 9 shots. If you want a headshot, they have 3 to pick from. You want a half body? And each one of those ideas, meaning the headshot, the half, like you're shooting 50 frames of each one of those 3 ideas. So the combination of shots, if you shoot that way, and by the way, this is one of my systems. This is the way that I shoot in order to make more money after the fact. I'll shoot and include 3 photos, but shoot it in such a way that people order 30. And I'm like, my photos are $50 per retouched file after the fact. Are you sure you want 30 photos? Because that's a lot of money. And then they say, okay, I'm going to narrow it down. And they come back and they give me 27 photos that they want. And then 27 photos, and we take 27 photos. This is like typical thing for advertising, because I charge $50 per. So 50 times 27 equals, like, that's how much I get just for post. And if they had given me the 50 or wanted 50 at 50, we can all do the math. So if you want to take this to an advanced level, look 1, you do headshot, half body, full length, and then you do that in 3 locations.
High quality content.
And then you do look 2, headshot, half body, full length in 3 locations. And then you do headshot on the 3rd look in 3 locations. All in your style. What it teaches you how to do is to shoot an editorial instead of, I quote calligraphy, how much for a 1 hour shoot and 3 photos? Bro, I just taught you how to, number 1, not charge by the hour. Again, I'm going to say it every single time. I'm going to point and say, stop doing that. Stop doing that. You're literally cutting off your nose to spite your face. And you're pricing yourself like a plumber, like someone who cleans toilets. You're pricing yourself like that for by the hour. Someone who does manual labor. You're pricing yourself the same way that they price a McDonald's worker, by the hour. That's how you value yourself. when you price yourself by the hour. Wow, this photographer, he gets, bro, if I priced myself by the hour, I would get $5,000 an hour. And how do you justify that when you're like, oh, what's your hourly? $5,000. People, it's like, the only time I charge by the hour is with my consulting, because it's actually a timed thing. Hour consulting. So that is how, and again, for this, now that you know that this is what the vibe is, and I would charge $500, and that includes a web gallery watermarked, okay, meaning they can't use them without your permission, and plus 3 finals, which is what you asked for, right? And I would tell them that the finals are worth $50 each times 3. So the finals are worth $150, and I'm including it in this price. So really, you are really paying me $350, and I am including the $150 for the 3 finals bundled in the price. You're paying me $500 equals 3 finals. Got it? But guess what? Finals, what you're establishing is finals cost $50. That's what you're establishing. So guess what? You shoot in such a way that it is impossible. Possible. Sorry, it's hard to speak it right. Impossible to get only 3. That's how you do it. It's impossible. And you've established, let's go, Peter. Welcome from the Czech Republic. Welcome from Canada. All the way back to you in the Czech Republic. So imagine this. You make it impossible to get only 3 because of this system of the way that you shot it. Now, if you shoot like this and shoot your magazine editorial, if you get used to shooting this way, guess what it translates into? It translates into editorial. It translates into storytelling. And it translates into jobs, because you shoot in an editorial way and you storytell, which equals great content. So in that shoot that you asked me, what do I charge for 1 hour, 3 pictures? I just showed you how to turn that ask into a business model. Because this has been my business model my whole career. I figured this one out like in year 1. Let's go, Stefanos. Gifting a membership. Stefanos, thank you. I'm giving you the fake smoke because the smoke machine's not on today. Vladimir, you just got gifted a membership by my man, Storm Coming, also known as Stefanos. Let's go, Stefanos. Thank you, my guy. So that's what you're doing when you are shooting in this way. You're making it impossible for them to get only 3. You're establishing that finals cost $50. And what end up happening, they'll say, well, I want these 10. And you're like, okay, so you get 3 for free. And I charge you for 7. 7 times 50 equals $350 on top of the $500 that you just charged them. That means you just went from making $500 from that person to making $850. That happens every single time that I shoot. This is what I deal with. Like, I deal with being like, they say they want 10, you include 3, they pay for 7. And 7 times 50 is 350, and now you've made $850 from a photo shoot that should take you roughly 90 minutes if you give 30 minutes per look. So stop saying you charge by the hour, charge by the project, and then learn how to shoot a project to profit, not just you, because shooting this way profits your portfolio. Your portfolio profits from you shooting a headshot, a half body, and a full length in every location that you go to. It teaches you how to think, teaches you how to see your locations, not just close up, but like, when I back up, there's a car over there. When I back up, there's people walking over there. There's a sign. Yeah, that means it's not a location. That means it's not a location. If you can't also, like, open Vogue magazine. How many pedestrians do you see walking through the back of pictures? How many, like, I just shot it anywhere photo shoots do you see? And yet I see people who are now trying to make photos, but they still aren't thinking about the location enough. Like, I like it. It's like, yeah, but is it interesting? It's like, use intelligent imitation. Look in magazines. Are you using this location in a way that is causing people to be like, wow? Or is it just distracting? So that is that job. The next one someone asked was, yeah, Les says that my shop rate is how I price, $150 per hour. My suggestion for you, Les, and this is my actual brother, is charge for the project. Determine in your own head how many hours, and then what's it worth? Because this causes you so much problems after, because you have to prove hours. You have to prove hours worked. Like you're a plumber. You have to prove hours work. Les, you're one of the best car painters in the country, like if not the world. Like, you have to, you look at the car and you say, that car, that paint, that job, that's 20K. 20K for that job. Based on your past experience, materials, your quality, and how long you think it's going to take in time. That's how you determine that fee. Now, if you do that in a shorter amount of time, now, here's the thing. Now, the more time it takes you to do this, the less you get of that 20K, the more it eats from that 20K. So now you become efficient. You become a machine, and you're trying to move cars and also like at the same quality because of your reputation, but you're moving cars because you're not being paid by the hour. You're being paid by the project. So then you're not restrict, because this is a fixed amount. And if you charge by the hour, well, how much by the hour is it? I charge $150, Les says. Okay. So you say, how many hours do you think it's going to take to fix that car? Okay. So let's do 20,000 divided by 150 equals 133 hours. So you tell him, well, I don't know. It could be 60 hours, which is like, literally, that's like 60 hours. Like, I don't know how long it takes to paint these cars. Like, just imagine you say like, geez, I don't know, man, it could take X, Y, or Z, right? But it's like, if it takes 60 hours, well, let's do it. If it takes 60 hours, well, that's $9,000. Okay. But if it takes 90 hours, holy crap, now it takes 90 hours at 150. Whew. Thank you so much, Hard Drive, for the super chat. I appreciate you. He says, part of my product photography biz will include restaurants, so I expect to be asked to photograph people enjoying their food, drink. You definitely will. That's called lifestyle photography. 90 times 150 equals 13.5. So now that's a huge jump in price. If it's now $13,500, or if it's 120 hours, that's officially now $18,000. Well, dude, you have floating prices depending on how much time it takes. So your customer doesn't know what they're in for. They don't know what they're in for. Am I in for $1? Am I in for a dime? Am I in for the rest of my life? Like, this guy could just bleed me by the hour forever. Like, they don't know you're legitimate. If you say, this project is going to take me roughly 120 hours in your head, this amount of money and materials in your head, and this much labor, like, okay, so this is what it's worth for me to paint that car. It's worth $20,000 for me to paint that car. If you don't have $20,000, I'm not painting that car. Because what you end up doing is you're working by the hour. So people pay you as you get more money, and then you do more hours on the car. And then they run out of money, and then you stop working on that car. And then it goes in the side, and then you work on a different car where people have money to pay you. So you're just like, have people know this is going to cost me $20,000. And you're like, yes, and give me $10,000 if you want me to start. Now you have $10,000 in your pocket and the incentive to finish that car at the highest quality and as fast as possible so you can get it out of the shop so you can get another one in there. I've been saying charge by the project and not by the hour less for so long. For so long. Determine how much the job is worth before you start it. Because if not, your customers will always be lost. And even if you do sick work, which yes, bro, you do, they still are confused as to how you price. So be transparent. For me to paint this car, it's $9,000. They're like, great, I'll give you half rate now. And then paint it in less time so you're actually profiting with your time instead of trading your time for money. You're too talented to do that, bro. By the way, this is my actual brother. Okay, so I'm going to do one last one before I dip out of here. Bad wording and rush typing. Price for white listing on social media for product photography, says Nikki Lynn. So, Nikki, this is white listing is shooting either white label stuff that people are like, you have to be hyper specific because I'm not a product photographer. So when you use terms like whitelisting, I kind of know what it is. It's like a company makes it for a brand and then the brand like prints labels and then puts the labels on it, like blah, blah, blah. How does that relate to what your question is for me? Like, price for like, is the question price for product photography on social media? But Les, you have to get better at putting a price on it until you dig onto it. That's why you don't quote on a car until you have the car. Say, let me have the car for a day or two. I'll look at it. I'll determine exactly what it would take, and then I'll give you a quote. Like, it's just like I said at the beginning of this episode. Like, a guy comes in, he asks you for something, and you're just like, it's $150 an hour. So you're just giving him a prescription without even knowing what the problem is. And you would estimate that the problem is less than the problem actually is because you're reacting to the price and giving him a price based on not telling him, it's telling him this is how much I charge to work on your car. And it could last for a month. It could last for 2 months, a year, like who knows? So this is why you have the car. You assess the car, you make notes, you determine what this car is worth to you to bring it to the level that they want, and then give the people that final number. That's how you quote. It's not $150 an hour. And then you find out later, oh, it needs this. Oh, it needs this. Oh, it needs this. Oh my God, it needs this. It needs this. Do that assessment before you say the price. I charge, is it common to charge 50% up front or 100% up front for a project? Depends. It depends. It depends. Some people, you pay me everything the day that shoot. If you're a person, if you fall under this category here, where it's like a person for personal, they pay the day of. Like if it's this situation, they pay the day of. So that is like usually a deposit beforehand and the remainder the day of. It's like a 50-50. When you book me, you pay me 50%, and then shoot day, you pay me the rest. And then I deliver my shoot the next day. So the day after shoot day, you get your Google Drive. Worst case scenario, the day after. And it'll be an Indie drive, because we're using Indie now. Okay, so that's that. I hope that answers your question. And then some projects I charge 50 up, 50 down, like big advertising projects, they pay a deposit. These ones here, they pay big deposits because you have so much capital that you have to put forward. So I get deposits everywhere. I get deposits on these kinds of jobs, on these kinds of jobs, and on these kinds of jobs. And often person for their business, their personal business, or their 1 to 3 person business, they usually pay 100% as well. They do the same model, 50-50. 50 up, meaning before they like to book me, 50, and then 50 on shoot day. If it's just one of these on the top, and then once it's down here more for businesses, you're dealing with terms. And especially with advertising agencies, you're dealing with terms. And terms means that you're a bank and you have to wait. You have to front and wait for the balance. So I hope that answers your question, Kai. So my brother, even if you are doing something that's different, the fundamental customer experience is the same. The fundamental psychology to buying is the same. The fundamental psychology to pricing is the same. And because you are a craftsperson, like a builder who is building a piece of furniture for somebody doesn't say to the person, you want a dresser? It's $100 an hour. They say, that incredibly beautiful one-of-a-kind dresser costs $9,000. Do you want it? That's what they say. So your one-of-a-kind mirror-making process where you bring a car from death to life, that process, it starts at $10,000 and it goes to $20,000. And you quote every project by the project as close as you can. And then after the fact, it's like, oh my God, I should have asked for more money. Good. Get better at quoting. Get better at quoting and get better at estimating how much a project is worth. Because there will be jobs that it's like, wow, that job was way easier than I thought and he paid me good money, or I finished it faster than I thought and I got good money. Is because you charge by the hour instead of charging by the project, which is why you're constantly working. I don't work by the hour, bro, unless I'm consulting. Okay, so guys, was today valuable? Did you feel that? And again, I have a whole bunch of new viewers, a whole bunch of new people following me, which I appreciate. Please consider joining my Discord. I am growing the largest community of emerging professional photographers.
Yes,
and
sir, yes.
The Discord is a free group. It's free. Just come hang out with us. It's super informative and super beneficial. The next thing is the pro group. Again, the pro group is... each one of these things that I create, like one evolves into the next, and then it evolves. You know what? I'm going to make it better. I'm going to make it, you know what? It'd be better if it was this. It would be better. It would be even more helpful if it was this. I take the best part of the masterclass, these check-ins. Yes, I heard you, Lana. These check-ins, like, and like, let's bundle that into like a whole, like, so I make content, I make digital tools, I invented the Carty method, all this stuff. I take on sponsors, all of this stuff just to make your life easier. And speaking of my sponsor, if you're running a photography business, especially if you're doing that and juggling photo shoots, I've got something that might be a game changer for you. It's called Indie, and trust me, it's like having a personal business assistant, only it's affordable. First off, imagine creating eye-catching project proposals super easily. Indie helps you do that so you can impress your clients and get more gigs. Plus, there's these ready-to-go contracts which are a breeze to sign thanks to electronic signatures. No more paperwork headaches. Then there's the task management part. You know how you have to keep track of a million things? Indie has a great to-do list and digital tools that let you visualize your work and keep everything super organized. It's really helpful. Invoicing, Indie's got you covered. Send out professional invoices and estimates and let your clients pay through options like PayPal, Stripe, Zelle, and even pay you by check if they need to. Working closely with clients, Indie has a cool client portal where you can chat, share files, and keep everybody in the loop. It's like your project command center. You don't need to use Google Drive. For those of you who are still billing by the hour, there's a time tracker that logs how much time you're spending on each project. Talk about making life easier. And then there's extras like file storage for your photos, customizable forms for all your client interactions, and a calendar that gives you a bird's eye view of your schedule. Here's the kicker. With my promo code Carty35, you can get 35% off your first year of Indie's Pro plan, which works out to be about $7.80 a month if you go monthly, and an even better deal of $5.85 a month if you pay annually. It's $5.85. So if you want to focus more on the creative side of your business and less on that stuff that you don't like doing that much, Indie is your go-to. Click the link in the video description, use my code Carty35, and watch the magic happen. Give it a go. See how it works for you and watch how it transforms your business. Thanks so much. Guys, I'm so glad you were here with me today. Please check my sponsors. Again, the reason that I do this, I've helped so many photographers start. I usually do it in person. It's one at a time. It's one-on-one. And then usually they're called assistants or apprentices. They're with me for 2 years. For 2 years, they get this input. Also, the glitches and all this stuff that you see happening to me during my stream, this is all controlled by the viewers. Do you understand? If you're a member of this stream, there's special commands that you'll see popping up in chat, but you have to be a member to actually glitch me. If you're trying to do anything funny or time something silly to make me look crazy, like yes, oh my goodness. Like if you're trying to do any of that, this is all the stuff that the members do to my channel. There's all kinds of glitches that happen. And again, this is all just to make your experience watching me, although it's educational, it's still entertainment. Like I'm trying to entertain you. If I'm not entertaining you a little bit, like you're not going to watch me. So I'm obsessed about your success in this business. I'm trying to help you shift your mindset so you can create your skill set, build your tool set so you can create assets. And we are creators. Stop taking from the world and start giving to the world with your ideas. If you do that, there is no limit to not only the amount of money that you can make. And again, this shouldn't be the reason. Money should not be the reason that you get into anything. It should be because you want to make the world a better place. If you want to make the world a better place and you're obsessed about bringing value to your specific niche, the same way that I'm obsessed about bringing this kind of photography value to you, you'll have no problem in this industry. I hope this brought you value. Making clips of my channel, meaning using the scissor key, make a clip of something that you saw that you found interesting, sending it out to your social media network, quoting something that I said, tagging my channel, talking about what I'm doing here on your social media platforms moves my needle. So if you can't afford to become a member, you can afford to hit the like button. You can afford to subscribe to this channel, and you can afford to share this information to your social networks. That would make me so happy. I hope today brought you value. I love you all. Thank you so much for watching. I do these streams live, by the way, and during the live streams, I show 0 commercials because I don't believe that a nickel from AdSense is worth disrupting this flow. And you know, if you become a member, I don't have to have commercials. It means you're actually supporting this content and you don't have to get subjected to stupid commercials that you don't believe in or I don't believe in. I respect the members of this channel so much that every time a new person becomes a member, I put their name, I type it in by hand with a little crown, and I put it in this little scrolly wheel so it scrolls across the top of the screen. So you're seeing hand-typed my last 25 members. Thank you, every single one of you. If you want this kind of love, all you need to do is become a member, and I will give you this kind of love in my end credits. If you've become a subscriber recently, if you've found me, if something that I've said has resonated with you and it has caused you to hit the subscribe button, until 25 more people come and push you out, the last 25 people who subscribe to this channel, they scroll across the bottom of this screen. Everybody now after the show floods to the Discord. If you're not in my Discord, you are only getting part of the conversation. This education happens 24 hours a day on my Discord. I'm there all day. My staff are there all day. Everybody's there to be helpful. Everybody's there to answer your questions. Please visit my video description, get the link to join my Discord, and everybody's there to help you if you're new as soon as you do that. Thanks so much. I love you all.